Super welcome. So, how's everybody doing?
Great.
Yeah, pretty good. We feeling good? Yeah. So I have no flipping idea what's going on in the Denver real estate. Somebody want to fill me in? What do we got going on? I have purposely chose to unplug and disconnect. I highly recommend it. So tell me what's going on. What do we got? I'm opening these up.
Seeing a lot of price decreases.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So cooling a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
More inventory.
More inventory.
Yeah, where are we at? Anybody have any numbers? You guys are real estate agents and professionals and you have no idea?
It was up 26%.
Are you waiting for me to tell you? I don't even have a license.
That's why we show up on Monday mornings.
That's why you show up to get the numbers? I tell you about San Diego, what's going on. That's kind of fun.
Are they hot?
Yeah, they're typically always rocking and rolling. So.
Million and up, huh?
600 for sure and above. So averages. So we're up about. Somebody said 23%.
26, whatever. In
Inventory.
In inventory.
yeah.
So if we were averaging like about 4,500 plus 26% of that, what do we have? About $7,000.
Yeah, 7, yeah, somewhere in
Is that about right? Is that what you guys are seeing? So what are our averages? What are we supposed to be at in Denver? More, yes. More than 7,000.
Or 2,100 or something.
At a zero. Right around the 21,000-ish. Right? That's a fairly balanced market. Okay. What else? We saw price decreases. Any idea of how much, like percentage-wise?
No.
How are our appraisals coming in?
I've had any issues.
No issues there? No? Yeah? What do we got?
Well, we're seeing all the overbids get hammered at appraisal.
Okay. Which is encouraging for your buyers, right? We love sellers, but we also need buyers. Hi, Lisa. So, oh my goodness. Best day ever.
Holy cow.
Man, we all thought you guys were on vacay or something.
Yeah.
So we're seeing overbids get hammered on appraisals.
Yeah.
How have you guys been encouraging your buyers to come in? Like at asking price, 5% over?
Depends on the price point.
Okay.
If they're down in the 250 to 300 full body contact, it's still probably going to be over.
So are we seeing in that range the appraisals knock down the overbidding, the bidding wars there in that range? Not the low range?
Waivers
No.
at that range too.
Okay.
You are waiting part of the appraisal, so.
Upper end is soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say like 600,
750 and above.
715 above.
And a contract accepted over the weekend, 25,000 less than ask at 900.
So it's still about 99% though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do the math on that, right? 20,000. What did you say? 900. So 880 divided to 900.
75.
3%.
Yeah. So 97% list price, sold price. Which, guys, when you're in that 750 and above range, that's still phenomenal.
I'll take it.
Yeah, especially if you're owning that. So that's still good to know. What about activity? Are we seeing who's writing a lot of contracts? You guys seeing activity? Like, are the buyers still out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it really picked up the week after 4th of July.
July.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, I mean, if you look across all industries, I mean, I watch a lot of stuff like on e-commerce, like, I mean, Amazon sales tank on that weekend. Like, just people are out, right? They're just like that national holiday. So, so there has been a bit of an uptick. You guys have seen that. How about listing competition?
What listing company?
Trying to get a listing. Is it still?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love seeing like, oh no, it's great, and then the others are like, yeah, you know. So talk to me. I've been gone for like 10 days, so I don't know idea. I want to hear.
We've seen more people come out of the woodwork, after 4th of July.
To sell?
To sell, and then
Awesome.
to repurchase.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are they trading up?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And we had one appraised. We just really nurture those appraisers. I had
Cookies,
yeah, I no doubt. I really did actually.
no. Oh, Kristen says no, we can't do that.
Well, I mean, I was there having them myself, so.
Well, look what we found.
And, you know, we had one that appraised 17,000 higher than anything in the complex on a 2-bedroom condo, so, and
Golly.
it closed at 405 in
Two
Boulder.
bedrooms?
On a 2-bedroom in Boulder.
Well, yes, okay.
Yeah, so, and the other one was cash, so it didn't appraise it, so.
You know, guys, it's fun watching the seasons of real estate. You know, spring, everybody lose their ever-loving minds because somebody planted purple flowers. You notice that? And then all of a sudden the flowers die because the heat, and it's like, oh, well, you know, or a storm comes through, right?
Hail.
And then we're going to see stuff. Oh my gosh, my kids start school. I should probably have a plan here in the next few weeks. So just be encouraged that there'll be an uptick. So, well, great, awesome. So today I kind of want to just share some musings of Lee. You know, I love rest. It's good. You know, something that I've really just kind of come to realization. I'm going to go somewhere with this with your businesses, so don't worry. And also, too, guys, welcome Robert Hatch. Yeah, sorry, man. Glad to have you here. Robert's been an agent. Tell me the company again.
Marcus and Millichap.
Okay.
Commercial.
Commercial? Okay, awesome. So we connected over the phone. I think I was on a plane or something.
Yeah.
And Susie
He
took
said
care
you're
of it.
really bummed.
Yeah.
You had to go to California.
Yeah, shut up. So filled my cup. We actually got to take the kids and just, I guess I'm real in a reflective mood because I got to like really do something that's part of my big why. And, you know, really just want to give you guys some hope today. Is that okay?
Sure.
Can I, yeah?
Yep.
Is hope good? Okay,
Looks
good.
great.
Because this business can beat the tar out of you, and sometimes we need a little bit of energy, and can come from hope. And I just kind of filled my tank. So we landed in San Diego, and drove about 5 hours south into Tijuana, and to like nowhere, Mexico, and helped a buddy of mine who's building orphanages down there. We got to bring the kids. So great. Then we went and played in San Diego afterwards at the fun place. But the kids were like, man, the best part of the trip was being there, you know. So that was like, okay, awesome. This is why I'm doing business so that I can have the resources to do this stuff. So as I was down there, just that reflective aspect about being on vacation. Remember that, you know that feeling you get when you're on vacay? It's like, why can't we live in that daily? Wouldn't that be awesome?
Island time.
What's
The
that?
island time.
Island time. Yes, absolutely. And so I'm coming back and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do or who do I need to be to create that sense in my business, in what I do? See, I have a business too. It's called building this business and being vested in your retirement, called Profit Share. Right? Okay? So as I was there, one of the things that I had kind of come across, anybody who heard of a guy by the name of Kurt Richer? I doubt you would, so that's why I like to throw it up there. So let me ask you this. Anybody heard old proverb, hope deferred makes the heart sick? Anybody heard that? Yeah? Okay. So what does that mean? Take a step. It's okay.
Well, your hope's always down the road. Yeah, I hope I can get this done. I hope that will happen.
Sure. Yeah. So does it mean like when I get the thing I hope for, if I don't get that thing, then my heart gets sick? Is that what that means?
No, if you can't even wish for it, your heart gets sick.
Okay. I think
What was
what
your comment? What was your comment?
If you can't even wish for it,
Oh.
that's when your heart gets sick.
so often we get so focused on the thing we're hoping for. I hope to get a listing. I hope to get a buyer under contract. I hope my life doesn't suck. I mean, right, we all have those thoughts that go through our mind. Well, the truth of the matter is that the hope, if you don't have anything to even really hope for, that's when your heart gets sick, right? Okay? So, Kurt Richer in 1950, this guy was a Harvard graduate, and he's worked with the Johns Hopkins Institute, okay? And they did an experiment. And the experiment is really interesting. They took a bunch of rats, okay? and they had these buckets that they couldn't jump out of. What they did is they filled the bucket with water. And in that water, it circulated. Okay? And they wanted to see how long can a rat go before they drown. Okay? Anybody want to take a guess how long a rat can swim before they drown?
A long day.
Take a guess. It's okay.
A week, 12 hours.
A week, 12 hours?
21 minutes.
15 minutes.
No way. Wow. That's it?
15 minutes. That's it. Because they just, you know, they can't see what's on the other side. They don't know what it's like to like not feel that drowning sensation. Anybody feel like that in your business? Is that fairly? Not that I'm saying you guys are rats, but I'm trying to create a comparison. Yeah? Okay. So then what they did is they took the rats, they pulled them out, they gently dried them off, they set them down, and they gave them just a short little repose, okay? A little break. They had a little vacay.
Are these the dead rats?
No, they didn't let them die. They didn't let them drown. Yeah, this was like at 14 minutes and 58 seconds.
They did the
okay?
well compressions.
Alright?
Feeding a dead rat is really hoping.
So they're toweling the rat off, and they gave them just a picture and a glimmer of hope. You know what they did then? They threw it back in the bucket. How long did the rats swim after they'd had that little break?
Longer.
21 minutes.
21 minutes? It's pretty good.
An hour.
60 minutes?
35.
35 minutes? After that little break, they were able to go for 60 hours.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wow.
Rats are amazing.
Rats are amazing creatures. Guys, that's a 240 multiple.
Oh, yeah.
And you know why? It's because they have to experience hope. But not just they experience hope, but they experience the energy that comes from hope. Okay? So, today, I want you to experience that. I don't know where you've been, what the last 10 days have been looked like, okay? Like, we all have stuff. So, as I've been thinking through, how do I convey that? You know what I discovered? Man, I got to make sure that I'm in a good place of rest. Not working from, but like, you know what? I know what this feels like. It's going to be okay. I just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Now they're going to make it Finding Ratty. Okay? And that's going to be the theme song. So, first, foremost, guys, phenomenal experiments about how to create hope in your business, right? Where do you need hope? The bottom line, my bank account, okay? Well, it all comes back to the activities that we do. So I want to kind of break down some different time traps that we fall into. Just as I was going through my schedule and just not having a schedule for a week was like awesome. Like that's a good thing, okay? So I want to as we kind of transition from hope, but really sort of talk about some time traps. And I see this so often with agents, okay? How can we create an awareness about what we're doing with our time? Because then that time feeds into the beliefs. See, I actually do what I believe about my business, about who I am, and that reflects in my time and my schedule, okay? So, first of all, as we're managing the growth, can I erase this? It's okay? All right. I already did. Too bad. Hey, that was a good word about the rats, huh? Yeah. Great job, Lee. Thank you. It's okay. I brought my own encouragement today, all right? I'm so full. Vacay will do that, right? Managing growth, time leverage. Let me give you some hope in this arena, okay? So, anybody believe, like I do, that time management, truthfully, I believe is a waste of time? Oh, that's a sacred cow. Maybe I'm the only one. Here's what I believe. I believe that it's equivalent to chasing the wind. Right? Okay? Just manage time. What's that?
It's only as good if you follow it.
But we love to study how to manage time, but we actually never really do it. Oh, that's why I believe it's a waste of time. Okay? Because if I believe just manage my time better, that will do the trick. That's the fix. The truth of the matter is you can't manage the clock. It's a constant. It always happens, no matter what you're trying to grasp, right? It's like chasing the wind. It's trying to grab it and contain it. It doesn't, you can't. In sales, trying to beat the time trap is frustrating. Guys, as you're in this business, as you're selling yourself, you're connecting to people, right? Trying to beat that constant time trap, I see so often agents get into that frenzy. Circulating in the water, I only got about 14 more seconds before I drown. Okay? So, most salespeople give up and accept an existence where chaos is the status quo. Roundy, roundy, here we go. Here we go. Chasing my own tail. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of poetry. Is that okay? I wrote this. This is for you. And you know, wherever you're at in your own beliefs, this is one of my favorite psalms. It's the 23rd Psalm for salespeople. Okay? Here it is. The clock is my dictator. I shall not rest. It makes me lie down only when exhausted. It leads me to deep depression. It hounds my soul. It leads me in circles of frenzy for activity's sake. Ooh. Even though I run frantically from task to task, I will never get it all done. For my ideal is with me. Deadlines and my need for approval, they drive me. Oh. Great. Lee, this is awesome. There's that encouragement that I brought again. All right, here we go. They demand performance from me beyond the limits of my capacity. They anoint my head with migraines. My inbox overflows. Surely fatigue and time pressure shall remain with me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the bonds of frustration forever. Anybody feel like that?
Yeah, you look good.
That's pretty good poetry. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it.
Did you write that on vacation?
I mean, you know, somebody can beatbox it. Maybe I rap it for you.
Slam poetry.
Does that not sound like some of the world we live in? Okay, so how the heck do we get out of it? First of all, we have to identify where we're really at, right? Okay, so here are the three main traps that I see with agents. It's consistent. It's universal. You know how I know? Because when I went to San Diego, I went and visited the Keller Williams at La Jolla. And guess what they're doing? The same things you guys are. And then I visited other agents' friends that I knew that were in San Diego that aren't even with Keller Williams. And guess what they're doing? The same things you are. Oh my gosh, I have this buyer. Oh my gosh, I have this. It's universal, okay? So if we can identify where we're at, then we know how to create the hope that we need to get what we really want. Okay? Is this okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, first of all, the first one that I always see is the organization trap. Lee, I want to be organized. Hey, me too. I get it. But what I see is wasting time juggling unnecessary tasks. Anybody get caught in that trap? Because we love to feel busy. Right? Who can break down the 3 tasks you need to be aware of and doing daily?
Lead generation.
Okay? This is not a trap. I'm going to put it over here in its own like a good thing column. Okay? So we need to be doing lead gen, right? That looks different for everybody else. You know, if you're great at pounding the phones, man, smile and dial all day long. I don't care. If you need to go out and meet face-to-face because that's how you connect to people and that's how they trust you, man, you better make sure that you've got coffee dates all day. Get used to drinking decaf because you're going to be fried come 5 o'clock. What else?
Lead generation.
Yep, got it? Okay.
And the second one's lead generation.
Lead generation, you're right. Okay, so in between lead generation and the second one, we have more lead generation. Okay?
Don't forget lead gen.
Okay, we got it. All right, we got it. What else?
Lead follow-up.
Follow-up? And what is the one other thing that is putting money in your pocket.
Doing the actual business, writing the contracts.
Negotiating contracts,
Building trucks.
absolutely. Okay? It's these type of activities, guys, that will make you money. Anything else really is unnecessary. Okay? When we get into this business, you become the chief technology officer, like you become the chief marketing officer, you become the chief executive officer. You become pretty much everything you don't know how to do. And that's okay. That's why we encourage leverage. Okay? So, a river navigates along its boundaries, right? Okay? When everybody understands what my parameters, what my sweet spot is, what my genius is, then that allows me to really be effective, to get from point A to B. When we put a dam up to the river, even the mightiest flows can be contained. You know how much pressure the Hoover Dam holds, PSI? It's about 4,500 PSI. My engineer in the room, at least you say you used to know. 4,500 PSI. In 1 square inch, it's holding 4,500 pounds. It's almost 2.5 tons. Even the mightiest rivers can be tamed when they create boundaries. And if you stay on the trap of feeling like everything's got to be perfect, guess what? It'll never be perfect, and you're going to miss out because you're focused on feeling busy, so you don't have to feel bad about how good or not good your business is. Great, Lee, you're doing awesome today, man. I got buckets full of encouragement. Okay, so the other thing that I see so often is the yes trap. Who's good at saying yes? Who's good at saying no? All right, we got okay. Both are needed. Okay, one's not better than the other. It's just identifying, right? Okay. How often do we waste time saying yes, though? Right? All the time. Okay. So there's been a study. Harvard did a study, and they studied salespeople. Now you could group agents into this. Whether it applies, I want you to think about this. Okay. Salespeople have, on average, how many interactions a day? The top. I'm talking about the top ones. Hundreds. About 170 interactions a day. And I want you to think about this in your own business. Like, really and truly, if you're on it, you're staying focused about what you want, and you're really in the zone, how many interactions do you have? Okay, so let's do some math. Can we do math this morning? It's okay? Say they do an average of 5 work days. Not on Monday. That's why I'm here. By the end of the week, they've had 850 interactions. Okay? Now, top salespeople, they're not abiding by Lee Psalm 23, so they're working a lot. So they're going to work 50 hours. Okay? Is that okay? Mm-hmm. How many interactions an hour? 17 interactions in 1 hour. Guys, that gives you about 3.5 minutes to focus on just one thing.
You're going to a lot of parties.
You're drinking a lot of coffee. How many interactions do you have in a day? How many work days? Do some math. Like, think about this. Because what this does is an indicator of how well you focus. Oh, there's a word. And I'm talking to myself too. Okay? So, if I only give myself about 3.5 minutes to focus on one thing, how effective am I really being? Right? It's the shotgun approach. Does that really let you win? But when we get intentional and laser focused, yeah? I'm sure somebody wrote a book about this at some point. Okay. All right. So, any yes trap people? Yeah? Okay. All right. It's good. All right. Here's my favorite one. This is the one that really puts a little sand in people's egg sacs. You know what I'm saying? Get your minds out. All right. Last but not least, the control trap. Ooh. Mary, can we be vulnerable? Do we have any issues with that one? I got some honest people. Okay, it's great. That's real. If you need to keep yourself in control, great. So why? It's because we love to waste time hoarding tasks. Right? Okay? How about this one? If I want it done right, I have to do it myself. Yeah, I'm pretty good at that one. Okay? No one works harder than me. Really? Okay. All right. This is the best one. This is the best one. I'm the only one I can trust with my business. That is a scary thought, isn't it? If we really be aware of what's really going on, it is a bit of a scary thought. Okay. So, why do we leverage?
To give ourselves more time.
More time. Can I draw that? I love drawing this out. And this might be repeats for other people, but I want to draw this out, okay? So, who has aspirations to be a mega agent and have a big team? We got about, I'd say, less than 20%. And honestly, that's pretty average, and that's okay. Love it. Guys, I'm here to help you however I can, okay? Now, the rest of us are like, man, I want to make a great living. Cool. You still need leverage. You don't have to manage people. You can still find leverage, okay? So in K-Dub, we have you, the agent, what we call the Rainmaker. Guys, when you hit about the $4 to $6 million range of production, there's just not enough time in the day. You're going to give up one of two things: quality of life or quality with your clients. Something has to give, because you're not that great. I think you are, but you have limitations, okay? So we encourage you, you need to find some leverage. Make my math easy. I have a $100,000 house, okay? I wish we could find those in Denver. That'd be awesome. At 3%, how much is on the table? $300,000. All right, good. So I got $3,000 bucks. MREA teaches me that in one transaction, from start to finish, remember how many tasks? 192 things to do. It's going to take me, on average, about 50 hours. Would that be fair? You're going to meet the client, you're going to sign this, and you're going to go look at houses, and then you're going to go do this, and then negotiate at 5 o'clock or 9 o'clock on Friday night. If you tallied it all up, it's time we're talking about, okay? We got about 50 hours in the transaction. Would I get some yays or nays?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So if I have 50 hours and I make $3,000, how much am I worth in this world by myself?
$60 an hour.
Can you go get a job for $60 an hour?
No.
That's a great wage, right? Especially if your pipeline's full, okay? But how do we get more time? Well, I want to encourage you, even if you haven't even closed a deal, I want you to be thinking, I need leverage in my life. Absolutely you do, because I don't want you to be this guy. Lots of agents like that, okay? Get an assistant. You can find assistants for $2 an hour overseas. If you want to go that route and you're too cheap, hey, there's a plan. You can find somebody. You might have a family member. Get an assistant. And we're going to put this person in here as you being a generous rainmaker. Executive assistant work, a good one, is like $15 an hour. Okay? They don't have to be licensed, but you need some help, some leverage, because of that 50 hours, that person, in theory, if they're great, and guess what? We can help you hire those people. Should take 20 hours off of your plate. So let's do some math again. If I've got 20 hours that I've leveraged out, well, I have an expense of $300, right, for that one transaction. Yep. But remember, if I have 3,000 gross minus my expenses for that deal, I got 2,700 left. But how many hours did I work?
30.
So if I have 2,700 left and I'm figuring this out for me, how much am I worth now?
90 an hour.
You mean by paying somebody else to do stuff that falls under here, I can actually take a raise? Oh, that's interesting. Well, let's go some more. So because you've gotten an extra 20 hours back, what could you do more with that 20 hours? Connect. Okay? So we encourage you, really find a transaction coordinator. Somebody who can handle the tasks from contract execution all the way to completion. We have transaction coordinators here in-house to help you, okay? Let's just say I want to find my home. Awesome. Great. You want to build a bench. Perfect. A good TC is right around the same, $15 an hour, and you're generous. You want 18, okay? That TC, and remember, we're hitting probably about the $8 to $10 million range of production. That TC, if they're good, should take another 20 hours. Nobody can do it better than me, right? Okay? Off of your plate. So, let's do some more math again. Remember with my EA at 27 hundo, we're going to take another 20 hours at $15 an hour. So now, I'm worth, or what's left in gross, or I'm sorry, in nets is 2,400. But how many hours did I work? So what would that 10 hours look like? What are those activities?
Lead generation.
Hi, my name's Lee Archer. Who do you know needs to buy, sell, or invest real estate? Cool, let's go look at some property. All right, we looked at 5 houses because I'm really good. I set that expectation up beforehand. I'm not driving around from Thornton all the way down to Castle Rock, right? We're getting real focused, okay? We're setting systems in place, all that stuff. So with some help, why is that funny? Do we do that?
We all do it.
Oh, sure. But we don't have to, right? We don't have to chase it. We can create the system that people fall in place. Or now that you've got 40 extra hours, you can organize your time around that better, right? Okay? So I work 10 hours on that deal. I'm worth $240 an hour. Do you see why leverage is phenomenal? Okay? So, the next thing that needs to go, if you're going to follow in this path, is you need to let go of your buyers. Control. Okay. Can I show you why? Because remember, you're building a bench, you're building a business. This looks like an organizational chart now. So, hire a buyer's agent. Now, Lee, why would anybody want to come work for me? Well, you've displayed leadership, and you're proving that you can actually build a business. And you know what I discovered on vacation? It's not fun to build a higher wall to keep what I have in. It's fun to build a bigger table. That's fun, right? And you got to be okay with people not wanting to sit at your table. That's cool. But we're discovering how to be great leaders within ourselves so that it's not such a heartburn when that person says, I don't want to work with you. Okay, I've mediated a lot of divorces before. It's not fun. However, you are growing and your business is reflecting that. Okay? So when you hit about that $10 million range, you need some more help, man. You really do. Here's why. What's left in that 10 hours, it's a simple 80-20 principle, right? You want to let go of that 80% of the work. Now, we encourage you to follow the model. There's a reason why there's a model, because it works. That buyer's agent, why would anybody want to go, say, on a 50-50 with you? Well, remember, people love to be a part of a team. Okay? And you may be feeling like, I'm a buyer's agent in the room, and I love being a part of a team, because there's all this value. I don't have to do all this stuff. I just get to focus on what I'm great at. Awesome. Okay? you create value and you create business that they would never have, because you've proven that you can have the time to increase your flow, which is connecting, 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 okay? So if you go on a 50-50, which is what the model encourages, you got $2,400. Remember, you've paid it all out, same $100,000 property, and you split that. Now, some of you guys are wondering, why would anybody want to split that? Remember, in a team, it's a path to an income goal. It's not about the splits. If you can create so much flow in your business that you can leverage yourself out of those activities and have somebody awesome to do business and life with, man, that's a game changer. Because your quality of life goes up, right? So you got $1,200 left because that person took that 80%. How many hours did you work? What are you worth now? You mean if I create room and let go of those things, I can really create wealth for myself by surrounding myself with phenomenal people? Unless my math's bad, I think it's possible. And that might feel for some of you in the room like, whew, that's okay. I want to give you, plant a seed, give you an idea. Yeah, I can do this. You know what? You can. For the last 23 minutes, I want to focus a little bit about the beliefs, okay? Because I can see some of you guys thinking, Lee, you've never sold real estate in Denver. You know what? You're right, I haven't. You know how hard it is. Maybe I don't. But what I do know is that businesses that succeed have systems. Does that look like a system? Okay, cool. The core of all these time traps that we fall into is our beliefs surrounding them. Okay, I want to read off a bunch of beliefs that I'm really training my mind to focus around, because I have big dreams too. And vacation's good for like dreaming again, you know. So I'm just full today. Hopefully I'm giving you some hope here, you know. Pulling my little drowned rats out.
Vacation.
Okay. You want to go on vacation, yeah.
Yeah, we need a vacation.
But here's what I want to do. It's kind of like, I'm seriously, I've been very, very pensive and just reflective. I want to create such an environment and atmosphere of rest inside of me that even if it's been months since I've had a vacation, I'm not. And I think I can do that if I give myself what I need. And you guys can as well. If you give yourself what you need. Not just for your business, but like really give yourself what you need just to breathe. That's okay. That's a good thing. I'm hoping some of you are writing down, I need to just to breathe. You know what I need? I need to go to CrossFit just to breathe. I love it. It fills me up. If those things that we're shelving because we got to like focus and lead generate, you know what comes across? Chaos. Do people want to do business with you when you are just full of chaos? No, they don't. So, how do we center it so that we really are coming from that place of rest? Okay? Identifying some of those beliefs. Beliefs are the acceptance of something without any proof, physical proof, to back up what we accept as fact, right? Truly, at the core of it, they're inherited, unconscious programming. Yeah? Would you agree? Okay, so, who believes time and money are integrally, how do we say it? Integrally. Whatever.
That word.
How many believe time and money are connected? Yeah? Okay, wealthy people know this. Okay? And here's what I've just seen as wealthy people do that and how they adopt it to promote success within themselves. And I want you to write which one like really hits at you. And then we're going to take some time to talk about it. Okay? I must read to learn.
Yes.
Okay? I am responsible for the circumstances of my life.
Yes.
Money and wealth are good. Well, I mean, so we have, and I don't want to pick on you, Kim, but we've heard more money, more problems. Okay. If you fall into these traps, right? Because money's neither moral or immoral. It's amoral. It's the who has the money, right? That's the issue. Why is it always me that's the problem? There is an abundance of money and wealth to go around. You know, I just saw that driving around San Diego. Like, there's a lot of money in this world. I encourage you to do that. Drive around. Go to, where's the ritzy place? Cherry Hills? Or no? Cherry Hills. Just go. Just see. You know what? There's a lot to go around. Don't be jealous or greedy, but be aware. Anyone has the ability to become wealthy. I could become wealthy. I can solve any problem. Any problems you feel like you can't solve right now? I can overcome any obstacle. I create my own luck. How's that one? Okay. Opportunities are everywhere. Opportunity does not knock. I have to go out and find it and take action. I must earn respect. Failure is just another way to learn. Failure is the stepping stone to success. Risk is good when it's calculated risk. How about that one? That's a good one. There is good debt and bad debt. You know what's funny? We encourage people to get into debt every day. In a good way, okay? All right? Okay? No one succeeds on their own. I can only succeed if I surround myself with other success-minded people. Guys, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I can accomplish anything I put my mind to. This is the best one. Time is the most valuable resource. I must make efficient use of my time. Wasting it is a crime. Did you know that going on vacation was not wasting my time? I set time aside to do that so that rest, guys, is not a waste of time. Especially if you're feeling low, because then you're going to give out of your capacity, or your lack of overgive. That's not fun. Birds of a feather flock together. I will avoid toxic people and surround myself with success-minded people. Dreams and goals are the rungs on the ladder of success. If I help others succeed, I will succeed. You want to make $1 million? Find a way to help 1 million people. Okay? A few more. If I improve the lives of others, I will improve my life. I'm in control of my thoughts and emotions. Never quit on a dream. Success takes time. I met so many overnight successes. It's taken them like 15 years to get there, but it's pretty fun. I am amazing and unstoppable. All right. Which one hit you? I want to hear. Okay. Which one hits you the most?
Mine was several, but those are greatly. I'm responsible myself for my wealth. Then I'm not going to put it off on anyone else. Either I do it or I don't. The responsibility part, and then there's leverage and other ways, as you always say, systems. But I'm responsible.
Awesome.
I like when I'm in control of my own thoughts.
Okay.
Because if you're thinking different, you're not gonna do that, and you're not gonna do that.
Mhm. I'm going through Think and Grow Rich right now. Guys, if you don't have an Amazon account and don't have that book, I will buy you that book. You let me know. It's so good.
That's what this reminded me of, trying to get to that fourth.
That's what
Quadrant.
Brandon
Quadrant,
did.
yeah.
That's what Brandon did when he was,
Oh, yeah.
Think and Grow Rich.
Well, we're going through it together.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so, yeah, it's awesome. What else? Which one hits you?
I like opportunities are everywhere.
Yeah.
They're right there, so you just gotta work it and.
Do you find yourself like, okay, what's the balance between like staying so laser focused and then like that truly fear of missing out is a real thing? Because what if it's a great opportunity, right? Like how do you guys balance that? Because I suck at it. What do you do?
Well, what was the one about other people, helping other people?
If I help others succeed, I will succeed. If I improve the lives of others, I will improve my life.
That's the cure for me for the laser focus that gets so, because that's when I start getting into the swirling bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when I start reminding myself and building that muscle to think about other people, and that's when the opportunities come.
Yeah.
That's a really important one.
Awesome.
I think like Tony Robbins says, if you focus on people, the numbers always work out.
Always work out. Yeah. People aren't projects, you know that? Who loves to feel like a project? Oh, pick me! Make me another notch in your belt or whatever, right? Nobody, or a trophy in your cabinet. I don't wake up to be somebody, you know what I'm saying? But how often do we do that, right? Subconsciously. Okay, what else?
I'll go again. Another one that I liked was, and then this was kind of Marty's thing on the 300-pound man to 150. Just get over, avoid these toxic people. They're doing you no good. You know, have the courage to say, I'm going another route, going another way. I'm done. And I just don't spend time with those people because they're not helping me.
Anybody need to purge their friends list? Or like, oh, okay.
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Already X'd it out.
I knew I was on that list.
Or like even just stop following people on Facebook. Or just get off the face too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's good.
The fact that abundance is everywhere, I see so many people who think that it's a limited pie, and it just kills their everything, their dreams, their hopes, everything.
So good. That's awesome. What about you, teacher Rena? Which one?
I would say honestly, failure is just another way to learn, but I'm going to combine it with, and it's a stepping stone to success. Honestly, I think it's just a matter of embracing it, you know, and it's fail forward. I mean, it's being a newer agent, it's constantly learning, and it's like hopping hurdle after hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. I mean, eventually you do get to that goal line, but you have to hop the hurdles in order to get there. Just a reminder.
It's good. But so often, like we're so scared to fail. Like, what if they don't like me? Who cares? Be awesome, right? Okay. There's a guy who was training. Well, he made it to the Olympics are coming up, so it's always fun to see like the peak of the peak. And okay, I don't want to be a triple jumper. Like I just don't have that aspirations. But guys, life is the Olympics every day. And there's this guy who triple jumped, and it was 29 feet 8 inches. That's like from here to Dave.
Wow.
I think that was long jump.
Or long jump, yeah.
That was
Sorry,
Bob-
did you see that?
Bob
Yeah,
Beeman.
triple jump is like 42.
Oh, okay. Whatever it is. See, that's how much badly I want to be a long jumper.
So he never touched it again, though. Never came close.
But it's unreal. Okay? And so, you know, just kind of piggybacking off of that, like, how many times did he have to go over the hurdle and do this and do this and do this to the point where he get to that stage and actually do it? So, if I can give you some hope today, after 15 minutes of swirling around, the energy that comes from them should hopefully get you at least through the week. Right? Okay? This is why we talk about this stuff on Mega Mondays. This is why we do what we're doing. Is to make sure that no matter what, we're staying focused on what we truly, really want. Right? It's not just about buyers and sellers, okay? Like, the mechanics of this business really are not that difficult, truly. If you memorize about 15 scripts and know what you're talking about in a contract scenario, know how to meet people and connect, you're going to be fine. But it will beat you down. Because there is a lot of no's. And none of us love to wake up and hear no, okay, all day. However, if we stay focused, if we continue to grow as individuals, what does happen is we're able to shift from getting trapped in the bucket to actually building the bench and making it look like what we want it to look like. You know what's fun is, like, I have people who give me hope. That's why I can stand here today to hopefully do the same for you. You have to have that in your lives, guys. So, you know, I know we started with, I have no idea what's going on in the Denver market. Maybe Marty, I don't know, he's got a better pulse on it than I do, but just find rest. If you need rest, awesome. Do that. Because that should give you a better focus to realign. Okay? Let me finish this up. If you want to get your time back and shift out of limiting beliefs, do some surgery this week. Write down or evaluate what you wrote down, what pinged you, and ask yourself, like, why? Why does that rub me the wrong way? Why is that hard for me to believe that abundance is everywhere? Why is it hard for me to believe that I'm responsible for my circumstances? Do some surgery. It's good. It's healthy. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So, any other thoughts? We can get out here a little early. You guys,
I'm going to share a story.
yeah.
So, talking about hurdles, that I think it does what we're talking about. So, Brandon is my son, and when he was a freshman, they put him in track. And he'd never ran track before, though he was a pretty fast kid. He just never ran track. One of the first events that they put him in was the 300-meter hurdles, which they say is actually the hardest event in, well, the 400-meter hurdles, which is the hardest event in track, right? So he'd never actually ran the whole event. In practice, they didn't have enough hurdles to do the whole thing, so he would just, run part of it, and then that was it, and he'd run part of it. So it was his very first track meet, and he doesn't know what he's doing at all. And they call up the people for the hurdles, and he goes up there, they're like, where's your number or something? He's like, what number? They're like, oh, you're supposed to get a number to go come stand in line. And so he runs across the field, long, far away to get a number and comes back. Well, by the time he gets back, he's now in the last heat. Well, in track, the first heat is like the people who aren't as good, and then it works up to like the best people. So now he, as a freshman, is in this heat with all of these seniors who have done this a lot, right? And he's at the end, at the low spot. And I remember saying to Glenn, I just hope he finishes. We're just thinking, oh, this is not going to be good. Now he's all exhausted already because he's ran and his adrenaline was up and everything. So this guy in the next to him, I think I went to high school with him. I mean, he looks like Brandon was like this scrawny little skinny kid, and this big man, next to him, whose legs were like this big, and they shut off the gun, and Brandon literally takes out like a bat out of hell, right? I mean, he's going great guns, and he's going and going and going really fast. He's like keeping up, passing this kid, going, so good. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's actually really good at this. Well, apparently, and I know nothing about track, you're supposed to pace yourself, right? And so just as he gets around to the Ralston Valley stand where all of his friends ends are. He hits the hurdle, rolls all the way off the track, and is laying there, right, looking up. And his coach comes and stands up and says, "Get up and finish the race." And so he got up, he barely could make it over the last hurdles, and he finished the race. And he was so humiliated. The next day he asked if he could go to a different school. Like, he didn't want to go to school, he didn't want to go to track, he didn't, so it was like really his very first event and ever doing this was really, really terrible. He ended up to go on to college and get a full ride track scholarship, and he was one of CSU's best 400-meter hurdle runners that there were. So I tell you that if you feel sometimes like you don't know what you're doing and you're down there and everybody's looking at you and you're laying and bloody, I mean, like he was all, he had road rash all over him and everything. I mean, he was just a mess. And sometimes that's part of how you get there, right? And so just keep that in mind at the times that you are there and you're thinking, I'm not cut out to do this. I don't know that I can do this. I don't even know what I'm doing. And then when I try to do it, I'm flat on my face and it's ending poorly. Get up, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. You never know, you might be the Olympic champion.
Just keep swimming.
I think between you and Lee that I need to do a class on track and field events.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Lee.
Yeah.
You mentioned surgery.
Yeah.
I wanted to share something with the room. This has been successful for us every time, literally 100%, is when you decide to release things, you make great space for new stuff.
Yeah.
New buyers, new sellers, and it's every time that we release on some toxic that's just going nowhere, it comes to you. I would just ask everyone to think about it. If something's really butting your head, just release it, let it go.
Yeah.
It's not really about a failure for you. It's actually very wise for you to do that, to release. And when you do, it really does come your way. It's amazing.
All right, any other thoughts? We got 3 minutes early. Have an amazing week.
Time is money. Thank you.
That's right. That's right, Kim.
Thank you.
You bet.